This might cause a snicker, but I'm going to say it anyway. The principle of Occam's razor states, the simplest explanation is usually preferable to the one that's more complex. The decision to hire James Armstrong was not complex. James Armstrong is an Auburn man. He's married to an Auburn woman. And by the way, they were married in Auburn, Alabama. They have an 8-year-old daughter who was born, you guessed it, in Auburn, Alabama. Casey, Olivia, welcome home. James Armstrong spent 6 years on the Plains working as an assistant and associate head coach for Karen Hoppe. Coach Hoppe, go ahead and stand up for me, Coach. Hold on one second. Coach Hoppe, thank you for 26 years of service to Auburn University. Thank you for 293 wins at Auburn. Thank you for the All-Americans, the NCAA tournament berths, the SEC titles. Thank you for molding championship women, both on and off the field or pitch and in the classroom. And more than this, thank you for being an Auburn woman. Auburn assistant and associate head coach James Armstrong helped oversee the most productive offensive seasons in Auburn history. During his 6 seasons on the Plains, Auburn made the NCAA 5 straight seasons, advanced to the second round 4 times, and a pair of Sweet 16 appearances, and an Elite 8 in 2016, the program's best postseason finish in history. James Armstrong is the reigning SEC championship coach. Guided his team to an unprecedented, undefeated SEC season. Was the SEC Coach of the Year, and if he's not the National Coach of the Year, I will make some calls, because that would be borderline ridiculous. He ought to be the National Coach of the Year, and hopefully that's going to happen. He's a brilliant tactician and an expert evaluator and recruiter. On behalf of President Roberts, our Board of Trustees, and our search committee led by Janan Paul, I'd like to welcome Coach James Armstrong back to Auburn. Welcome home, Coach.
Good morning, and War Eagle. First, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to John Cohen, Jared Benko, and Janan Paul, and the entire search committee for entrusting me with the incredible honor and privilege on building on the legacy of Coach Hoppe and writing the next chapter of this program's future. Coach Hoppe brought me to the Plains in 2013, 11 years ago, and I will be forever grateful for her mentorship, guidance, and friendship in preparing me for my college coaching career. I would have loved the opportunity to say this in person, but I would like to take a moment to thank the players, staff, and the entire Starkville community for an unforgettable 6 years at Mississippi State. I'm immensely proud of what we achieved together during that time, making history along the way. I will always look back on those experiences with great pride, and nothing can take it away from that. To my family, the most important support system in my life, thank you. My wife, Casey, my daughter, Olivia, my mom and dad, my mother and father-in-law, you have always stood by me through both the good times and the challenging moments. I know Olivia is especially excited to meet her new big sisters here at Auburn. Funny story, last night we were driving along and Olivia said, "This feels like London." We drove past Sanford Hall and she said, "Look, there's Big Ben." The connections we have with Auburn run deep, with us celebrating many personal milestones here. Casey graduated from Auburn. We got engaged in Ashton Park. We got married at Moores Mill Country Club. Olivia was, of course, born at East Alabama Medical Center. These moments hold a special place in our hearts. But beyond the personal milestones, We are returning to Auburn because we know this is a place where championships can be won. Auburn is a national power brand, a leader in academics, with world-class facilities, unmatched resources, and a fanatical fan base. It truly is the loveliest village, a place where people are proud to call home. I cannot wait to work with the student athletes who have already been so welcoming to myself and my family and have shown hunger to take the next step. We will build an identity, foster a culture, and instill an understanding of what it means to represent Auburn, not just on the field, but in the classroom and in the community. Together, we will build relationships, focusing on the holistic development of each student athlete. They will leave here not only as better athletes, but as better people and better students. Thank you so much again for this opportunity. I cannot tell you how excited I am to get to work quickly. I'm truly looking forward to the journey ahead. War Eagle.
If you guys have a question, please raise your hand and we'll get you a microphone. We'll start with Justin up here.
Hey, James, you just talked a little bit about the potential at Auburn, but just what makes you so confident in Auburn? What do you see out of Auburn, athletics-wise, and what potential is there for soccer in the future?
Unlimited potential. Having been here for 6 years, been in the league since 2013, we know what it takes to win. Auburn has all of the resources. It's an incredible institution. Recruits will be excited to visit here. The current team graduated a lot, but there's some unbelievable young talent that are hungry to be provided the opportunity. Speaking to them, they've learned a lot from the older players, and so there's a great foundation in place. And so getting together with them in the spring is something that myself and my staff cannot wait to start doing.
How valuable is it to take over a program that you know so much about and you know the fundamentals, you know how it's been built? How much of an advantage is that going into year one?
A huge advantage. We've already had recruits on campus, and campus has changed a lot. The town's changed even more, but all of the amazing things are still there. So having familiarity with not only the program and how it's been built, but also the town itself and all the amazing amenities that Auburn has, that just puts us at an advantage straight away. Clearly, I'm my own coach, and there's certain things that will definitely change, but the familiarity with the program's huge.
Impossible not to be impressed with what you did in Starkville. What was the key to building up that program? And with that in mind, what do you bring then to Auburn with what you did at Mississippi State?
Having a clear vision, having the ability to communicate that vision, having players believe in it, and then executing it at the highest level possible. We were able, whilst we were at Mississippi State, to grow a fan base that got behind the team. That's something that's very important to me to do here. Get the players and the staff to get into the community and build that energy and enthusiasm. At the end of the day, relationships are everything, and so getting to know these players, getting to know the staff, getting to see how each player wants to be treated and cared for, and how to get the best out of them, that's going to be huge as we move forward. Making sure there's a clear identity, making sure there's a player-driven culture whereby they are invested and know that it's their team and we're here to facilitate it and help drive it along the way. And also building a great staff. The staff has done an unbelievable job in this transition process. So people, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day.
You mentioned how the program's graduated a lot of players from this past season, I think 13 seniors. What does year one look like for you, just in attaining talent and also a lot of the young talent you have on this current roster?
The most important thing right now, obviously, is to get to know the players. They're excited. We're excited. So evaluating the talent, like I said, there's a lot of young players that maybe haven't had the minutes yet, but watching film on practice, there's some great talent there. So identifying what they're capable of doing. One of the things I'm most excited about, and I told the players this, they truly do love one another. This is a locker room that bought in. They want to get better. So I think right now the immediate thing is getting to know these young ladies, these student athletes, finding out what's important for them, finding out what they want for their future, what they want for the future of this program. Obviously, we live in a time where the transfer portal is live, so seeing what talent is available there as well. But just getting to know them, getting to build relationships, that's the biggest thing right now. And also, I have familiarity with a lot of the players that are graduating, so getting the opportunity to sit down and thank them for everything they did for this program, but also get their take on things that they would like to see as well.
Two, please, if I may. One about your playing style, what you want your teams to be known for.
Yeah. Grit, hard work, fit, energetic. That's the non-negotiables. We want to make sure that we are the hardest working team every single time we step foot in the weight room, on the practice field, or during a game. Those are the non-negotiables. Then from that standpoint, we want to put together a play style that's realistic. Obviously, we've got to take a look at what that looks like once we start training in the spring. But we want an attacking brand of soccer where we play possession, but we want to transition on both sides of the ball quickly, press high up the field, and we want to work really, really hard.
And then Coach Hoppe, Karen Hoppe, what she has meant to you personally and to the Auburn program.
Meant the world to me personally. I was a club coach in Austin, Texas, and I've known Coach Hoppe since 2002 when she was the assistant coach with the U19 national team, and I was just an equipment manager. Going through my coaching career, I sought advice from her along the way. And a funny story, I was coaching a game, or funny story to me, I was coaching a game in Dallas, and she came up and gave me a hug and told me that there was a job opening at Auburn and would I be interested. And I lost track of the game at that point. I was, of course I would be interested. And we moved quickly and came here, and just seeing firsthand how she built a program, how she coached, how she got the best out of players. That was something that obviously prepared me as I took my first head coaching job at Mississippi State straight from here. And we've continued to stay in touch. So from a personal standpoint and a professional standpoint, I think she knows that I could never, my family and I could never thank her enough.
So season 5 or whatever, 6 at Mississippi State, or 5 or 6 this season you have. So just to make that happen on that timeline here, I mean, what do you have to do in year 0? What do you have to do in year 1 here at the beginning to get on track to get there? Because you can't get there right away, but what do you have to do to get there? Right, what do you have to do right now?
Take every day as it comes. When I'm sat here, we haven't had a training session yet. I've had individual meetings, on the phone. We've spoken to every player individually, so just starting to get to know them from a personal standpoint. That's really important. It's going to be day by day. It's going to be a lot of hard work. That's the most important thing. It's not just going to come overnight, and the players have to want it. The players have to believe that this is possible. And in my brief interactions with them, we had a team meeting last night. They're excited, that they're ready to get to work. And once you have that in place, then anything can happen.
Do you believe the Auburn people can love soccer? Do you think you can set attendance even higher? What do you see out of the Auburn people?
The Auburn family is special. The Auburn fan base is fanatical. We've just got to make sure that we put a product on the field that they're excited and proud to watch. And then the other thing, you've got to get out into the community. you've got to get to know the community. And the players are unbelievable young ladies. They're fantastic at communicating. Myself and my staff, hopefully the same thing, but we will get out there and drum up support. And all we ask is that they give us a chance, because I think that once they come to see the atmosphere and these young ladies play, they'll come back for more.